Now that we have the service ready, in this lecture we're going to create the tables that we're going to be using to save the same things that we're currently saving on a local database. So in your service, to the left, you're going to be able to scroll down to the mobile section and find the Easy Tables option. If you select it, you're going to be opening another blade where you will eventually see the list of all of the tables inside of your Azure database. But before we can create tables, we have to select this blue bar, which says click here to continue, because you need to configure Easy Tables and Easy APIs. So select it, and the first thing is to connect to a database. Now by default, you may not have any databases available, but you can click on this warning and you're going to be opening another blade where you can create your first data connection. So click on Add, select SQL Database, and in the SQL Database option, we're going to selecting the required settings. We're going to be creating a new database, and I'm going to be calling it Travel Record App _DB. Then we're going to select the target server, and we're going to be creating another server for this. This is going to be Travel Record App, and you'll have to add a login as well as a password. An important selection in here is the location. It is very important, or something that you should definitely consider, that you select the location, the same location that you selected for your app service, because otherwise the latency between the service and the server is going to be longer, and that is not what you want. So I'm also going to select South Central US for this, and I'm going to click on Select. Back in the configuration for the SQL database, we have to select also the tier that we're going to be using. This is also going to define how much money is this going to be spending every month. And just like on the service, we have a free option, which is only going to create a server with 5 DTUs and 32 megabytes of shared storage. But again, for the things that we wanted right now, it's going to be enough. So I'm going to click on Apply. I'm going to select the collation to be just the same that was added by default. Click on Select. The server is going to be selected. And then the connection string, we can leave it to the default. Click on OK. And the database is going to be created. Once it is created, we will be able to create our first table. Once the data connection is created, you will see this notification on the top right corner, and you'll be able to get back to the Easy Tables blade, select the blue bar again, but this time you already have a data connection. All we have to do is initialize the app service to use Easy Tables, and we're going to be creating a to-do item table. But what we really need right now is to initialize that app service, and notice that in the notification section, that execution is already in place. Once this is completed, then we'll have everything needed. Here, the app service has been initialized, and then in here we'll be able to create the tables that we need. In fact, let's go ahead and create our first table, which is going to be the name of the class that we already have, and the exact same name that we use for the table inside of the SQLite local database. And that is Post. Then you have the option to select the permission needed for the user to insert, update, delete, read, or undelete the elements. By default, we are going to be selecting to allow anyone with anonymous access to do all of these operations. But if you eventually want to authenticate your users and restrict access to your tables, you can do it directly from here. For example, you could set this to be only for authenticated users, or to be definitely disabled, that no one can insert into this table. And that is the same for all of the operations. Right now, I will just leave allow anonymous access to all of the operations. I'm going to click on OK, and the table is going to be created. Now, from the Xamarin Forms application, we will be able to use the table to insert, just like we've been doing on the local SQLite database. Now that we have the app service ready, in the next lecture, we're going to be connecting to it directly from the Xamarin Forms application.